Welcome to Ring the Damn Bell. I guess we don't have a freaking countdown today. All kinds of. I'm sorry. Welcome to Get Your Bell Wrong. Fucking habit. Uh,
Ah,
I guess I didn't have my normal countdown today. I'm about to figure out what's going on. We have a whole new look. I'm still trying to work through all of the stuff on here on StreamYard. So forgive the weird setup, everybody. With me we have the wrestling enthusiast Mark. We have the best damn ref in the industry, George Strong, and we have the teacher, JT Storm, and of course myself, KG Landry. Um, Bob Cook is having to take care of some things today, so he's not able to join us. So we'll be cookless, but that's
That
okay.
schmuck.
We can handle the
what?
podcast.
We don't have a cooker.
We don't have a cooker, so we
Well,
are
I'm out.
doing our normal Tuesday night podcast, recapping Monday Night Raw. Before we get started, guys, a couple of things. Please subscribe to our podcast. Again, if you're just joining us for the first time, it looks a little wonky. I had a new setup done. Still trying to work through some of the bugs. Also, tomorrow, Justin Race, the son of the legendary Harley Race, will be joining us. And real quick before we get started, JT Storm kind of wanted to take the floor to say a couple of things. Go for it, JT.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I just wanted to give a big shout out to my boy, Big Vito LaGrasso and Ricky Santana for making a dream come true. I will be attending CAC's reunion this year, be amongst my peers and my friends like Landry and everybody else. And CAC, because of those guys, they made it possible. So for one last time, I'll get to be amongst my peers. And I just wanted to thank those two and give them a big shout out. And also to Darla. Darla also made this happen. And I just wanted to give them a quick shout out.
Yeah, JT. Darla actually called me, I think a week ago, maybe a little bit less, asking me about you and telling me some of the plans. And I was like, don't do that for that son of a bitch. You don't deserve it. I mean, it's not like he's the only person in the world that's going to die. Everybody
Right.
dies. But we can
Right.
give him special treatment. I think it's horse shit. That's why we have such weak little shit turds running around. Oh, I'm dying, so I get to no.
Right.
I was glad to hear that they were doing that for you. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and thank you too. She spoke highly of you today. She said it was a pleasure meeting you this year down at the down there in St. Louis and stuff.
Yeah,
And
it's imagine
yeah,
it's imagine what people will say for a couple of $1,000.
right. Oh, by the way, I do want to give a quick shout out to Mr. Cooker. I was told personally, he told me personally why he was not able to make it tonight, and I'll
Yeah.
just go ahead and I'll let the fans know why. He is actually out celebrating with Gunther, Gunther's title win. So I just had to, I just had to let everybody know that he's
Shit
out
that
there
will
Yeah.
never
drinking with
happen.
him, or he's out there drinking a Mountain Dew with him. So
Oh God.
Yeah, you'd have a better chance of Mark becoming good looking than you do, Bob hanging out with Gunther.
That's a fact.
So let's get into it, guys.
All right, so we start with Corey Graves back on Raw for the night. Woohoo! I like Pat, but I miss Corey.
yes, me
Yeah,
too. Thank you.
we
Same.
can have Corey Grace.
Really? You don't like Corey?
Not at all.
Wow.
Really?
He's
Well,
for myself, and I'm just speaking for myself. He's annoying.
One
Um,
out of four
I
guys.
I
And
I
Michael
think
Cole's not.
I
And
think
Michael
that
Cole's not.
that JT, I'm speaking. I think that he tries to be something that he's not. Um, so yeah, I just don't like the guy.
I think he tries to emulate Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Exactly, and he he fails on a weekly basis. Hence why his ass was moved to NXT.
No, that's not true. Pat just had a bigger following than Corey does.
Yeah.
Not because he sucks.
No, it's because he sucks. I mean, look, the fact that a non-wrestling guy, like Gray, like not Gray's, like McAfee, right? He's a football guy. The fact that he had more of a wrestling following than a wrestling guy tells you everything that you need to know.
Yeah, well, if you sucked, why is Michael Cole still there?
No, Michael, dude,
I knew Mark was going there.
You can try to shit on Michael Cole all you want. The fact of the matter is that he's much better than your guy Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone can't get his head out of his ass week for week.
Well, Tony Schiavone would mop the floor with him 40 years ago, but that's besides the point.
I doubt it.
Oh yeah,
people
Tony
got
Schiavone would have mopped the
Jim,
floor with Michael Cole 40 years ago.
No.
And nobody wants
Michael
to see.
Cole did a better job.
Michael Cole did what? Did what?
I said of people between Schiavone and Michael Cole, of people that got the rub from Jim Ross, Michael Cole took it and ran with it, as much whether you like him or not.
Right, and on top of it, if Tony Schiavone was so good, then his ass wouldn't have been let go for professional wrestling when it did, when he was. And what, it took him 20 years before he was able to get back on TV?
Yeah. Hey, let me get your guys' opinion on this. What do you guys think of Wade Barrett as a commentator?
I was just thinking about him the other day, and I'm not overly.
I love Wade Barrett
as
as an announcer.
Me too.
I'm not a fan either.
No, I'm not.
I love Wade Barrett.
I miss JBL too doing it.
Yeah, I miss
love
JBL.
Wade Barrett pairing with Joe Tessitore. Like Wade Barrett and Tessitore are perfect
Wade
together.
Barrett and Joe Tessitore, that is a combination that makes you want to take a handful of pills.
Yes.
I 100% disagree.
God, they're terrible together. They're terrible, individual, but together they're even worse.
See, I like Joe.
No,
I take Joe over Michael Cole any day of the week.
The only thing
I agree to disagree. That's all I'm saying.
I think that the only thing Joe is good at would be if he was actually interviewing like Mean Gene, because his voice reminds me of Mean Gene Oakland.
Yeah, well, I'm still sticking to Michael Cole's got his head up somebody's ass so far that they won't fire him.
Dude, the proof is in the pudding again.
No, the proof is in it. He's got his head up somebody's ass.
He is absolutely much better than you will ever give him credit for.
Nope. You're right. I won't give him credit.
Nope. Well, tell you what, how much money is he making right now, and how much money are you making right now?
Oh, fuck. Not even close.
There you go.
All right. Well, let's get into it. I'm tired of talking about fucking Cole. All right. So we got Liv and Dom coming to the ring, demanding respect. Io Sky comes out, and there's a little back and forth. She says, "You want the belt? You can have it." And she threw it at her, and then drop kicked her, and then kicked Dom in the head too, and then they leave.
Yeah, so I'm over Io Sky having the belt.
Thank you.
She adds nothing to it. She has no personality. Granted, she's okay in the ring. I wouldn't say she was the best. I wouldn't say she's the worst. Dude, she makes a lot of mistakes when she's in the ring. A lot of mistakes. But she's got a good champion. It's time to take it off and put that belt on somebody else, somebody that can actually add something to that belt.
You want title, you come me. That's all I heard. Like, come on.
Oh, you guys are brutal. You guys are fickle bitches. Fickle bitches. Io Sky's probably one of the best talents they've got out there.
We may be fickle, but you obviously do not have an eye for professional wrestling and what's good.
It's that I do.
Oh my God.
Get your name being Mark, and you're a Mark.
Io Sky is one of the better talents, and you know it.
Compared to who?
Compared to almost anybody except for maybe Flair.
Compared to Nia Jax? Okay, yeah, she's better than Nia Jax.
Oh my God, go away. Go away. Go away.
No offense, George Strong.
Why did my
As
name
long
get
as
brought
you,
up?
Nia
as
Jax,
long
man.
as you
Oh
don't,
no, that's right. You,
Why
you're
my
Piper.
why
You're
my name
Piper. You're Piper
why my
Niven. My
name get
bad.
brought up? Wait. I know
He's
it's
talking
being
about
quiet,
fat
but why my
chicks.
One
So
fat
right away he
chick
went to the
chick.
black guy.
Right. Stay out of it.
right? Whoa! Don't point the finger at
hey,
me.
hey, now I'm the one, guys. Now I'm the one that has the hots for Nia Jax. Come on.
Oh my
No
Yeah,
god!
wonder
All
Nia
you're
right,
Jax is cute,
dying.
but don't get me wrong on this. She's not one of the best wrestlers on the roster. She just got better the second goes
Well,
on, or else
I'm just
it's
saying,
over.
if you compare if you compare Io Sky to a Nia Jax or even a Piper Niven, I will give it to you. She is better than
I
those.
won't even do that. Look, Nia Jax is bottom of the totem pole. Like Piper Niven's 10 times better than her. Io Sky is in the top 5 right now. She may not be the best ever or anything like that, but she got the belt because Triple H wanted to try again. The title run is on the booker on this one because I mean, there's talking and then there's wrestlers. Io Sky shouldn't be talking.
no,
That's
she
how
shouldn't.
I look at it. I
guys, I'll
don't
be
think
right.
she doesn't bring it. She brings the wrestling to the belt, but that's it. She doesn't bring the personality because I mean she can't talk. I mean, but they can't do Asuka all over again.
She
Asuka
should
got
be.
popular doing the Japanese talking,
Right.
and that got over. Io can't copy that same gimmick. They can't keep doing it with every Japanese wrestler. They should just let her wrestle,
So she shouldn't be.
and that's it.
She shouldn't be talking, and she shouldn't be the champion. Period.
Thank you. She needs a
You know,
mouthpiece.
somebody else.
Hey guys,
All
I'll be
right,
right back. I gotta close my door here at the hospital. Be right back.
all right. So next we go to the match with Stephanie Vaquer, Asuka, Ivy, and Raquel. You know what? This is actually a halfway decent match, I thought.
Yeah,
Asuka got the win. You know,
It was a good match. It wasn't top tier, but it was definitely entertaining.
that.
yeah.
But I have an issue with Oscar winning last night. Not that it's not because I don't think she's a good wrestler because she is.
Hmm.
It's the fact that she just got back, and they're going to put her in that position already. I mean, come on. These other women have been out there busting their asses. Reward them.
Yep.
Over their shoulders.
Can I break away from this for a minute with the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring thing? Is it not
Yeah.
lazy booking to keep having all these multi-person matches when we used to have this King of the Ring qualifying start like 2 and 3 weeks before the pay-per-view that it was going to be on, regardless
agree.
if it had its own or not? Like
Yep.
we're having we just had like a bunch of triple threat matches for Money in the Bank. That's fine, but King of the Ring has never been like multi-person matches. So
I agree.
it
I
sucks
agree.
because I was conflicted in a lot of those matches because you had your favorite wrestler versus 2 other people that don't matter who's going to win. And it's like I was really mad that Stephanie didn't win last. So
Yeah.
it was like I wasn't mad at Asuka. I was just mad at the booking that maybe they could have fought in another qualifying match after this, and like then we decide who goes. Like it seems that this King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring, since it's going to be in Saudi Arabia, a lot of the veterans are winning the matches because that's who they want to see. They don't care.
Yes, that's where I take exception to this too, because one, King of the Ring used to be like one pay-per-view, and it was a tournament in that pay-per-view, I thought, if I'm right.
You're
All
right.
Yeah.
Second of
Yeah,
all,
it was.
King of the Ring was meant to develop them upper tier, mid-level card guys into that upper echelon. So now you got these guys that your Cody Rhodes, your Alexa Bliss, have already been world champions. These guys shouldn't even be competing in this stuff. This is
Thank
to
you.
develop. This is to develop the mid-tier guys into that upper echelon. All right. So to have Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, all these guys, no, it's built for Camilla Hayes and that sort of type of wrestler.
I agree.
Right.
So I mean, I really
It's
take
to elevate it like in the business as the one those of us that are in the business it's used to elevate, like you said, it's to elevate to get you from mid card to upper level, like you said. That's like where you'll start at as like the king of the ring kind of thing, and then you'll move on to the intercontinental or the
right,
U.S. belt, and then you'll move on to the world championship and stuff.
right. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that where Austin got his start, pretty much?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where he blew up. Yeah.
Yep.
It was
You know?
definitely by accident, but nonetheless, yeah.
I was just really shocked that they put Oscar over. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. I because honestly, I wasn't impressed with her this time. This time around, I know she's coming back from an injury. I get it and all that other stuff and everything else that was going on, but she just didn't seem like she was ready, or Like she had a lot of ring rust. A lot of ring rust.
To your point,
And
JC, I saw her like
blown up. And she looked blown up.
Yeah, I was about to say she started laboring towards the end of the match. It's like they got closer to the finish and she started slowing down. I was like, "Come on, Oscar, you got to be ready for these matches."
Well, if you saw at the end when they were interviewing her, she was out of breath.
She was completely out of breath. Yeah.
Yeah.
She couldn't even do her catchphrase without breathing heavy.
When you come back from an injury, there should be no such thing as ring rust because they put you through the ropes and have you go to, an NXT type environment,
Well,
and
she is. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, I mean, they put you through the ropes before they put you in the ropes again, so there should be absolutely no ring rust.
So she has been with developmental for at least 6 months now. She has been her doctors released her to come back well over 6 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. And it was said that she was in, at developmental until they had something for her. So you're exactly right, Mark. There should have not been any ring rust. But look, it's maybe with the exception of George and JT. It's easy for you and I, Mark, to say there should have been any ring rust. We're not professional wrestlers. We don't know what it is to go out there
and you're right.
to wrestle. In that environment, having thousands of people watching watching you that's actually there, and then the however many millions are watching you on TV. So I'm sure nerves may have also played a issue as well. But saying that, the fact that she had been at developmental for all these months preparing for her comeback, physically she should have absolutely been ready.
Yeah.
No, in her defense of that, like I kind of 50-50 because I do agree with Mark and I agree with Kev, with KG, with the cardio stuff. Wrestling cardio is different, but also how many people come back for a multi-person match for their first match back in a year? Like usually there's like a squash match or something. As soon as you come, that's where I have a disdain for the King of the Ring being set up the way it was. She could have just squashed Ivy now for a qualifying match as a return match so she could get back into ring shape in front of crowds. So it goes both ways. She should have been in better shape, but maybe she couldn't have been, or maybe that whole year off it was more rehab than we think than just the last 6 months of trying to get the kinks out.
Well, the other thing is, and we've all been injured, broke a bone or whatever. You have a cast on or whatnot, and you get that cast off, and you're still gun shy to use that part, for fear of re-injuring it or
especially
in a cast.
Yeah.
Especially knee injury. Like I was nervous back in 96, whatever it was. I had a freak accident, was being dumped to the outside, and somehow my boots got tangled up in the top of middle rope, and I went outside while I dangled there and partially tore my Achilles. And I was supposed to be off 12 to 14 weeks and have surgery, and I was back in the ring 2 weeks later, and I just taped myself up really tight and popped me some pills, and I haven't healed from it since. And that was back in 96. But you get nervous when you get back in the ring because you're afraid. Like I was afraid I was going to completely tear it, and because I was already close enough. But when you're dedicated to this business, you work through it. You just go out there and do what you got to do.
Going back to the conversation we're having about the qualifying with King and Queen of the Ring, remind me because I can't remember last year. Did they do it this way last year?
I don't believe they did.
No,
I believe they did actually. I think they had like some people had matches and they had like a triple threat or something. They may have had a triple threat, but I'd have to go back and look.
I thought it was just singles. I thought it was like Asuka versus Becky, and then they did it that way,
or maybe
not a four-way. I don't remember.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking about Money in the Bank. Then I know they had they've done it multiple. Like it's all confusing. They keep doing the same thing for all of the tournament style pay-per-views.
Well, I mean, they're changing everything. I mean, look at the pay-per-views. I mean, now they're 2-night events instead of one.
Right.
You know,
and the ones that aren't important are 5 matches.
Yeah. All right. Oh, re-interfered in the match, dropped Raquel like a bad habit, and then Asuka for the win.
Yep.
Then we go to
See,
Judgment Day.
I was hoping Raquel was going to win that, to be honest with you.
See, Raquel should have, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, she can easily overpower any of them guys. You know.
Right.
Yep.
All right. Next, we go to Judgment Day in the back. A lot of more mixed communication. You know, again, the seeds of dissension are there. It's just a question of when they're gonna pull the trigger on this.
Yeah. Yep.
So, next we go to Gunther to the ring. Gunther got a hell of a pop, I thought.
He should.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Bob in the front row.
Yeah.
Uh,
Dude, so I
he was doing it. He was doing the
cracking
heat thing for
up a
Gunther.
beer. Yeah, he
I know.
cracking a beer and everything.
I was just surprised at what kind of pop he got, to be honest. I
It was
wasn't expecting
strange
that.
though, because he got a pop coming out to the ring for his entrance, but as soon as he got inside the ring and he went to speak on a mic, they treated him like he was Dom. They booed the shit out of him.
Right. That's good.
Yep. So, anyways, the crowd
Always a
started
good thing when
chanting
you heal.
Goldberg, and he says, "Oh, quit with the rumors, quit with the rumors." And then, lo and behold, Goldberg comes out. All right.
Limping out.
So
Limping now.
before you even start, I
man.
made a comment that he was blown before he got it. He was not blown. If you go back and watch anything, if you go back to WCW and watch Goldberg in his prime, he came out. He has always come out that way. He was always full of sweat when he came out, and he was always huffing and puffing. Always.
Okay.
He looked no differently last night than what he did when he was with WCW. With the exception of he's not quite as big as he used to be.
The one thing I took away from
George,
this,
do you agree with that? Do you agree with that, George? You agree with that, George?
I tweeted he was blown up, dude.
Okay, hold on.
He was not blown up.
Okay, hold on.
Hey, you heard what I said. He's going to end up, He's going to end up like Warrior. Watch. He's going to sit there doing.
No. I think
he's going to wrestle Gunther, and the next morning we're going to read on eWrestlingNews.com that he passed away.
No, it's going to be on. It's going to be on Sportskeeda.
No.
Okay, hold on. Now, the one thing I took away from this is after their little confrontation, Goldberg climbed the ropes, and I've never ever seen a redneck Jewish man. Did you see his back pocket? He had a tin of chew in it. I've never seen a redneck Jewish man.
Oh, that's funny.
I saw that and I'm like, oh my God, he's a redneck.
Hey, why didn't Sportskeeda pick that up?
JT.
Sorry.
No, very seriously.
I'm joking, though. I don't mean that to anything.
Don't dog with Sportskeeda. I have a very good friend that works for Sportskeeda.
Bleacher Report.
He is
Bleacher
he's going to be on the podcast here soon. So
okay, my bad.
Great guy.
I'm just poking fun, dude. I ain't trying to offend nobody, but still,
me too. I'm a ribbon. I love the rib. Ask anybody that knows. I love
the whole.
But
the whole
the fact
Goldberg
that
got blown up, like that whole segment, just was like I was irritated as soon as he came.
It was bad.
No, it was far from being bad. The fact that we have both guys who are in the business are screaming that Goldberg was blown up is absolutely ridiculous. The guy is in better shape than you both will ever be.
I'll give you that.
And again,
yeah, for his age, he absolutely is. For his age, he absolutely is. I wasn't an NFL player.
Go watch him back when he was in WCW, and he always came out doing the exact same stuff. Always.
I disagree because I watched this like when the streak started on Nitro after Starrcade and all of that stuff. I mean, he didn't look like that. He wasn't that old, and he was blown up. I mean, you can defend it all you want, whether you're a fan of his or not. Like he was blown up. He couldn't pick up the Undertaker in a match because he was blown up.
No,
like,
he couldn't pick up the Undertaker.
This is not 90s.
Let me correct you. He couldn't pick up the Undertaker because he had a concussion at that point. He had he had suffered a concussion before he even got to the ring because he's an idiot, headbutting the door, and he suffered a concussion with that spot where he was going to spear the Undertaker when the Undertaker was in the corner. The Undertaker moved and he hit that pole dead on. That's why he couldn't lift the Undertaker.
Okay, tell me you're a Goldberg fan without telling me you're a Goldberg fan.
I'm not, but I'm not a Goldberg fan.
No, he's
I'm not.
legitimately he's legitimately defending him, and it's not like he's like, oh no, this because no, I get it, but I'm not buying it. I can't.
There is an eerie similarity.
Again, I agree to disagree.
There is an eerie similarity between him and Warrior though, because they can't have longer than a 7-minute match before they're winded. Right?
I will give you that 100%. And I wasn't happy to see Goldberg last night because
But
I don't want to watch a Goldberg and Gunther match because I am scared to death that they're going to make a dumbass decision and have Goldberg.
Oh no, it's not going to be dumb. They're going to be fully into it. They're going to say, hey, let's give him the belt.
No way.
And I'm concerned about. And I'm also concerned. I'm also concerned that they're going to have Goldberg beat Gunther in less than a minute.
No, that'd be tragic.
If they do, then that totally buries Gunther, like totally. And they're not going to bury Gunther over. They're not going to bury him over a one-time thing.
It's not a one-time thing. Let me tell you what this is going to go to. Let me tell you what they're going to do. Because originally Goldberg's last match was supposed to happen in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
That's why I was shocked that they brought him in when they did. And then it made perfect sense when they said that it's going to be Gunther and Goldberg at Saturday Night Main Event. I guarantee you that they're going to put that title on Goldberg at Saturday Night Main Event, beating Gunther fairly quickly, and they're going to take that rematch all the way to Saudi Arabia for that
That's
fight.
exactly what they're about to do.
And Gunther is going to beat him at that point, and Goldberg's going to retire.
Because it's all about the money, and Goldberg's still got a bigger name than Gunther does.
Yeah, I agree with that part, but I just hope they don't do that. I was hoping, if anything, if they do put Goldberg over, that it's some kind of screw finish or some kind of finish where, yeah, he goes over, but he doesn't get the strap. You know?
No.
I don't want them to do a sympathy thing like, oh, this is my retirement match, so we're going to put the strap on you. That just totally ruins the belt even. It diminishes the belt.
Unfortunately, JT, they promised him his last match, though. Like, I think even Vince is going to give him one more match. So TKO's like, let's do it. Triple H, trying to be the different guy from what he used to be, is going to do it. Like, they're going to give him his last match.
Yeah, let me ask you guys something, JT. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Is it really ruining the belt? Because let's think about the times that, and it just happened, that the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre, he won that belt. You had that cash in. He had the belt less than 5 minutes, right? Let's go to Goldberg. Beat Brock Lesnar in the manner he beat Brock Lesnar when he got the belt originally from when Goldberg got the belt from Brock Lesnar. So I don't really think it's a matter of ruining the belt. I just think that people were initially, I think that he got a pop. They were happy to see him. I don't think they're going to be happy with him putting the belt on him though.
What's your guys' thoughts about this then? Why do you think they chose to bring him back to go against Gunther instead of somebody else for his last match? Like,
in a sense of what they're doing, they're protecting Jey Uso. It's like, we don't want Jey Uso to be the guy. We want him to be the bad. We want him to be the heel. And why not? Since we're making Gunther that heel, make it Goldberg to beat him and get the belt back. And just like the whole Universal title thing when Kevin Owens had it, lost to Goldberg. It's like, when we want to give Goldberg a belt, we got to put it on a strong heel. It's not gonna. Right. I don't think it's gonna take away from Gunther. Unfortunately, it'll look bad, but with at least that little bit of power that Gunther has, like, he's not gonna lose anything in that. He's gonna be
really in the bigger picture is going to put him over when he beats Goldberg and get that belt back. You can look at it that way. And I think one reason why they have Goldberg facing Gunther instead of Goldberg facing Uso, besides they're trying to protect him, is that Gunther looks like more of a guy that can beat Goldberg than what Uso will ever look.
Okay, I agree.
Not taking anything against Uso. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
But
I
being
am.
honest, Gunther looks like that guy that could possibly pull that win off.
Right.
Jey Uso doesn't look like a guy that faced Goldberg back in the day, so that's why he doesn't need to be the guy to lose the belt.
George.
Uso would be a 30-second
Unless,
squash.
George, unless Rikishi comes in and helps him.
I don't
There
know
you
if
go.
Triple H wants to deal with him.
Yeah, that dude can't keep his mouth closed every time something happens.
Well, at the end of the day,
they're not booking my son right.
Right.
at the end of the day, it's all about money, and Goldberg can still bring in some money, you know. And it's kind of like, you know, why have best of 7 if you can finish in 4? Well, there's 3 games you can still make money off of. So, you know, is the NBA, you know, paid off? Yeah, I think so. You know,
Oh yeah,
so
sports is fixed.
oh yeah, you know, it's very rare you see a best of 7 go, you know, 4 games and that's it. You know, no, there's too much money to be made. But anyways, yeah, it gets down to money, and Goldberg can still bring in the money, you know. And if it's a one-off, it's not going to be enough money, so they're going to do at least 2, maybe possibly 3. Now, the other thing they could possibly do to save face is Goldberg could win and then retire, you know, the next night or whatnot, and then they have a tournament, you know.
Yeah, I could do that.
Because that seems to be the thing right now is tournaments, whether it's AEW or WWE. It's
That's a
tournaments.
good hypothetical, but they're already in the middle of a tournament.
Well,
they can't do two
Right,
at the same
right.
time.
But it'll be over by then.
Yeah, but this is the problem
Yeah.
with doing that. There's no way that they are going to have one of their top heels beat in a matter of seconds and lose a belt and then just leave it like that for a guy who is only going to be there maybe 1 or 2 more matches. That's it. There's no way that they would do that. They're definitely going to make sure that their guy that's going to be there for the long haul is made whole again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, nobody thought Bret Hart would get screwed either, but
Yeah, different circumstances.
He's not gonna go with it, pal.
all right. So next we go to JD McDonough versus AJ Styles. AJ pins JD. As the match wraps up, Finn and Dom try to get involved, and AJ walks off with the Intercontinental belt.
I tell you what I loved about this match. The way AJ was able to get JD in a Styles clash, and then the way he pinned him after that Styles clash. It was a very nonchalant pin, barely holding his leg up, pointing down to come on in the ring, right? I loved it. Absolutely loved it. The match itself, I wouldn't say I loved. It was an okay match.
Good match, good finish. I like AJ running off with the belt. It was funny.
Yeah, it was pretty slick actually. Next we go to Sheamus back with Maxine Dupree, Natalia, and Tozawa. Where's Otis? He injured or what?
Yeah. Well,
I think they're selling the Rusev thing.
Right.
Oh,
I'm telling you, Otis is going to come back, and he's going to turn, and he's going to be with Rusev.
who's going to turn?
Rusev's number 1 guy.
Otis?
Rusev. Yep.
I wonder whatever happened to his running mate that they canned 2 or 3 years ago.
Who's that?
Otis's running mate. I can't even remember his name.
When they were
He was a big dude.
Yeah, they were.
Oh, you're talking about Tucker?
Yeah.
He got released, and then I don't even think he's wrestling anymore. I mean, he got shell-shocked by the release, and coming. Otis had the charisma, so it was like it's not that like they lost that much. It's just I don't know. They tried to do stuff with him, it didn't work. He was on main event before you know it, and then he was getting released. So it wasn't that big of a deal, apparently.
I don't know.
I think Tucker
I'm just
is
curious whatever happened to him. So
I think he's a great.
All right, so then we go to what I missed.
Checking receipts. He's checking receipts at Sam's.
Yeah. Tucker's a greeter at Walmart. Mark, are you fucking stoned tonight?
What I missed? I froze.
Jesus.
He froze.
Yeah, I keep
Next
freezing.
section. Next, we're.
It's not funny anymore. I said Tucker was a greeter at Walmart now.
What the fuck?
Do you see that?
Max Headroom.
Are you there? Can you hear?
Oh my god, it's such a bad freeze. Holy shit.
No,
Oh,
you're
we're froze
moving.
on his
You're
end.
not froze.
He
And neither was I. I was ribbing you, Mark.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what'd I miss?
Oh.
What'd I miss?
he's
This
we
is
were
what
talking about
happens whenever
WrestleMania.
this is what happens when you have that cheap ass internet from Kmart.
You got that straight talk internet there, Mark?
No.
Oh Lord. He got a government phone off the side of the road.
I,
the
I just had to let my dogs in. All I did was stand up, turn around. That's all I did. That's all I did. Because the fucking dog was whining.
Mark, did you shave your head?
No, I usually wear a hat.
Oh, I just because you look really bald this episode. I was gonna say, I know I know JT. I know JT is dying, but he's not dying from cancer. You didn't have to shave your head to support him. I mean,
No.
Well, hey, Landry, I didn't know that you were bald until your post the other day. I was just like, what?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, JT, I didn't know KG could grow a beard because I ain't never seen him with hair on his head or his face.
Yeah, back when you and I were hanging out back in the day, I had stubble on my face. I just got
Yeah, you
tired of
did.
keeping it stubble. I had to grow out.
All right.
I was just jealous because I couldn't grow it.
I became a Minnesotan. Had to grow that beard, starting to freeze my ass off. Fucking winter we have. Fuck.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
man.
That's why the lower half of my body looks like fucking Chewbacca. And we won't talk about the ass of or the hair on my ass. All
That's
right.
on the camera right now.
I don't care.
Oh, wait, you were talking about the one you're sitting on.
Someone's looking for a trip to Coon Rapids.
Oh, man.
Now, before we get some
Folks, if this ain't worth the price of admission, I don't know what is. So make sure you like and
Right.
subscribe.
we got to make up for the cooker not being here.
I mean,
All right. Now, before we get a lot of internet heat, all right, there's a standing joke with us and George about a city named Coon.
Stop being sensitive. If you get internet heat, who gives a fuck? You know what? If you're offended, don't watch this podcast. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, quit being
Because-
woke.
Hey, you
know,
who's a hunted species in Coon Rapids? Probably Piper Niven or Nia Jax.
Dude, hey, what did I say to them? I told you, hey, what did I tell you guys? I think they would make a good tag team, though. They would make a really good tag team.
JT, not in your bedroom, dude.
Yeah.
You can't get the tag titles there.
Oh, yeah, I could.
They'd have to prop them up with a tripod, though.
Hey, I got a double tripod now.
I mean, look, who needs Dr. Kevorkian when you're gonna have freaking Nia Jax and freaking Piper Niven tagging in your bedroom?
Oh my God.
Hey, George. Hey, George and Mark. Look, KG wasn't looking when I did that. Hi, guys.
Dude, put that back in your pants.
That beast down, boy. Down, boy. See, quit talking about Naya. Quit bringing her name up. You're getting me excited.
Oh my God. We don't need the cooker tonight, boy. Holy shit. All right. So next we go to Bailey to the ring. She calls out, oh God. She did a shitload of ass kissing last night. Oh my God. That hair's gotta go. I'm sorry, that hair's gotta go.
She still looks hot though.
When she first got to the ring and started cutting a promo, I'm like, okay, she may do surprisingly well tonight because she was doing fine. I was starting getting a promo, but then it went straight to shit. I mean, it just turned terrible once Becky Lynch got out there. Like, what the fuck was happening? It was.
I mean, it seemed like it was personal.
Yeah.
It was just. I mean, Becky Lynch leaning all the way against the ropes like that looked bad. Then her, I have to look behind my back or whatever the fuck she was saying. It looked really bad. with Bailey, some of the shit that she was saying, she repeated herself a couple of times. I thought we were about to see a
Shoot.
redo of what Dave Batista was saying that one time, with Triple H, where he just was terrible as well. The whole thing was a mess, and the whole thing was fucking terrible.
Yeah. Bad segment.
All right. Anyways, Becky came out and they had a little bit of scuffle, and that was about it.
Well, I tell you, I tell you this. It looked like Bailey knocked the shit out of Becky. I don't know if she really made contact or not, but it looked like she made contact. I'll give her. She threw a really good punch. Not enough to be considered the best punch in wrestling, Mark. But nonetheless,
I wasn't even going to go there.
It
wasn't even going to go there.
It's no Dustin Rhodes, man, but it was a good one.
It's no Bob Cook.
Wasn't even going to go there.
No Jerry Lawler there, but it was a good punch.
Hey, let me ask you guys your opinion on this though. I've kind of noticed since Becky's come back, like I'm really not impressed with her promos anymore. She's kind of coming across like
entitled,
like real life. Yes, real life arrogance. Like she's got this big head and she's a big superstar now, and that I don't know, dude.
She's got Monet syndrome.
Yes.
I was about to say
it's not character.
It's in the that's what I was say. It's in the gimmick, but it's not the gimmick. It's not gimmick. It's in the gimmick, but it's not gimmick. So it's like she's leaning into it too much.
I told Mark a couple of weeks ago. I think it was just him and I on the podcast that I was already over Becky Lynch. Like I was so sick of her.
Yep.
I like the old Becky Lynch.
She lost a lot of steam taking that time off.
I prefer no Becky Lynch.
Right now, I do. Yeah.
No yeet.
I've never been a Becky Lynch fan to begin with. I've never liked her.
She needs to go back to the bus and stay with her kid. Let Seth do all the work.
And by the way, George Stroll, you brought up Jerry the King Lawler, and it reminded me something that not to get into politics too much, but they had this protest happening last weekend called the No King, and I've been trying to pass the word. Look, goddamn it, we do have a king in this country, and that's Jerry the King Lawler. So put some fucking name on his respect when you say the king.
Yeah,
there you go.
Okay.
All right. So then after that, Becky and Bailey, you go backstage. Nick meets up with AJ. AJ gives him the belt. He says he'll get back to Dom whenever. Then says AJ's got a match with Dom next week or at the pay-per-view, I think. Yep.
Yeah, the pay-per-view.
And then Becky or Bailey comes back and she's got a match against Becky for the belt. And then you see shades of Bailey with Valkyria. Kind of shades of being a heel, saying, "Oh, sorry, I didn't contact you. I'm just looking out for myself." And then Lyra says, "Well, you win that belt. I'll be looking out for myself too." So I don't know. The shades of either one of them turning a heel, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, the first thing that went through my mind is I really hope that they don't do some stupid shit like do a double turn during that match between Bailey and Becky, where Bailey turns heel, Becky turns face. This is just gonna be stupid. They turn Becky face. I mean heel. She needs to stay heel for quite a while. Bailey turning heel. I actually think that'd be the best thing for her career, is to turn her heel. Because did you notice last night when she got into the ring? First time she's been there in a while. She literally had to ask the fans to cheer her when she got into the ring.
Yeah.
And eventually they did, but I think that they're going to very quickly get burnt out on Bailey again. And so I think that she has a better chance of being more successful right now if they do turn her heel.
She reminded me of Sally Fields when she got her award. You love me. You really love me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with that. Bailey as a heel when Damage Control started and all of that stuff, that was one thing. But like right now, she probably needs to go back to that. The problem is, and I know we're all kind of tired of Becky, and I never was. I'm gonna let you, KJ. I was never a huge Becky fan. Me personally, I became a Becky fan, but I wasn't a big time Bex fan, compared to the other three horsewomen. Like, I like Sasha Banks. I like Charlotte. I wanted Bailey to do more. And then there was Becky that was just like they were forced it. But now it's like, now that she's back, the crowd's cheering her. They're trying to make her heel. They're finally starting to get used to her as a heel. But they're not really responding to Bailey.
Right.
Yeah.
And they just got the crowd warmed up to Lyra, and it looks like Lyra's going to turn, like one of those two are going to turn into each other between her and Bailey. It's like, it's so confusing with those three right now. They need to throw another woman in there and kind of get the crowd focused on somebody else so they can do the character development with those three that they want to do.
Yeah.
Well,
By the way, real quick, Mark, let's go to this. With you mentioned they need to get another woman in there. It was reported today that WWE is actually very, very close to finalizing a deal that both WWE and Britt Baker, yep, agrees to.
BMD.
Yep, for a contract to be signed. So they're saying to be expecting Britt Baker at any point now.
Well, didn't they say that about Adam Cole too? Didn't they say he's coming back?
I haven't heard
Supposedly?
that.
I haven't heard anything, but as long as Triple H is running creative, he might need to go back because it might be 10 times better than what he's doing at AEW.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to guess, if Britt Baker
Hey,
would be brought to WWE right now, I would expect her to show up at SummerSlam.
Yeah. Royal Rumble.
I think if Britt signs, I don't think Adam Cole's going to be running back anytime soon.
I don't think that makes a difference, though, because he was a Triple H guy. That's why he didn't go to the main roster, not just because Vince wanted to make him a manager. He was one of Triple H's guys in NXT.
Yeah,
so, I don't see that keeping him from going back just because his ex goes there.
Yeah, I mean,
Andrade's still there.
So was John Cena with
Bella?
Nikki Bella.
Yeah, with Nikki Bella.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So next we go to Kairi Sane versus Liv. That was really kind of a quick match because Liv dislocated her shoulder.
And
that does not feel good, dude. That does not feel good.
It was a legit injury, and you guys seen what I wrote last night. The IWC fans, man, they could really just. These guys are a cancer to the business. They are. These particular set of fans are a fucking cancer to the business. To celebrate a legit injury it's beyond sick. I mean, who the fuck does that? It's like I said, they're a fucking cancer to the business, and
terrible.
I would rather have 0 subscribers on this podcast than to have a bunch of IWC subscribers. I'm being honest to God.
Yep.
They're terrible.
Yeah, it was just a freak accident, so she'll be out for
injury, a freak accident, and a bunch of idiots cheering it.
Right.
Yep. What did they say? She'll be out 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, I thought.
Yep.
So, all right. So next we go to an interview with Sammy. Karrion Kross comes out, and they had actually, I think, a decent back and forth. To be honest, Sammy's eventually going to go after Karrion Kross, which I really hope, because God, he's such an intriguing character. Why they don't utilize him, I don't know.
Yeah, so I know I've been screaming that I wanted Sammy off my TV. This is the exception, though, because I've never seen a feud between Sammy and Karrion Kross. It's something different, so I'm good with that because it is different. Just keep Sammy away from the same shit that they've been doing, using him for. And it's not Sammy's fault, but I don't want to see him involved in anything, anywhere with any members that used to be the bloodline. Put him against Karrion Kross and let this happen. I think this would be good.
Yep. All right, then finally we wrap it up with the heavyweights. Well, except for Jey Uso. Jey Uso, Bronson Reed, Sheamus, and Rusev. Surprisingly, this was a better match than I thought it would be too. But Jey Uso just looked like out of place. It's one of them things that doesn't belong. One of these things isn't the same. No, these guys are tanks, and you're not.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a tank. Did you see him dive over the top?
Yeah.
There's no surprise that he won. I think that he is one of the, if not the hottest baby face on Raw right now.
Yes, you are, George. Yes, you are, George.
A question for all of you. Do you foresee them putting the belt back on Uso?
No.
JT?
No, definitely not. I hope, at least I hope not. I look. He did bust his ass. He did deserve it. He got rewarded. Okay, but your time's on. You're never gonna. He's drawing money with the Yeet stuff. That's about it, and that's a younger crowd. But he's not. I don't know, dude. I'm not. I was never really a Jey Uso fan back when they started the whole. Uh, the Were in charge of the asylum, like they were, like him and
Day one?
Jimmy's. Yeah, when they used to play this whole, from the prison yard, and I said, dude, neither one of them have ever been in prison. They've been in county jail at the most. And then to try to act like they're some big gangster and stuff. I don't like that, dude.
The only person the only person that can actually act gangster because they've been to the pen is Dom.
It is my boy. Oh, who?
Dom.
Dirty Dom, man.
Dirty Dom.
Oh, man.
He was locked up, man.
Yeah, they
followed
county lock him
Bowdy.
for one night.
No, I thought you were about to say what's his name?
Look,
Jacob
that
Fatu,
was the greatest thing. I love when they did
That was the best
Dirty
part of the
Dom.
gimmick, dude.
Dude, it was so great. It really was. I wish they would bring that back.
right?
It was even better when Booker T signed on for him.
Yeah.
Like he had never been, like Booker's talking like he had never been to jail before. Like Dom told me it's different in there or something. Like I forgot how he was just like, I was like, come on, bro.
But didn't Booker do time?
Oh,
yeah, absolutely he did. It's in his book. That's the whole point.
If go research Booker T's story, man. He has a great comeback story.
Yeah,
he
does.
Yeah,
does. He had a hard ass life growing up as a kid.
I don't know,
but
same
Mark,
as MVPs.
You know.
Yeah, no, Booker T is slightly different.
Yeah. Mark, same question though. Do you think that Uso's going to get the belt back?
You know, I'd like to say no, but you know, even the Miz got 2 runs.
Hey, leave my boy alone.
What about you? Are we going to see a 2-time champion?
I hope not.
Yeah, but not today. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna happen again. Or at least put him around the title picture and not give him the belt back. Like he's gonna be like that. You know, maybe a couple of qualifier matches, or even be a number 1 contender and lose it or something. But I don't see him getting the belt right back. They may give Gunther another long run hopefully for 3rd, or just not losing to Goldberg. However, he has the belt after this whole shenanigans with Goldberg. But I don't see. I think they're kind of planting seeds, like the rumors are saying, and planting seeds for stuff to cash in on Cena or try to.
Hey,
so.
What do you guys think of this? So, who was it that posted the whole the thing about John Cena when he was talking about Dom?
Oh, I think I shared that maybe.
I think Mark said that, yeah.
Dude, I agree with him what he says 100%. Like, I think, look, if anybody should have a title run before anybody, I think that Dom has earned it more than Uso has, to be honest with you. Because Dom has. I mean, he's gone out there and busted his butt like crazy, dude.
Talk about a world title run?
Yeah, dude. I think they need to set him up for that.
That's the Percocet talking.
No, it ain't, dude.
Absolutely.
That's the fentanyl talking. What are you
doing?
talking about?
All right.
Yeah. No, I think
JT don't sweat
whispering.
that. They looked at me stupid when I said Dom was getting the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. Then
No,
Casey never acknowledged that I said it before the show.
George, first
you never acknowledged that I said it before the show.
I agree with you that he was getting that title. JT, I think that's death whispering in your ear, man, because there is no way that Dom is even close to being ready for that type of responsibility.
Are you kidding me?
For those who think that, hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
And he does not physically look like he's ready for that responsibility either.
And Jey Uso does?
Jey Uso is a lot bigger. He is bigger than Dom is. At least he has muscle content.
George.
Dude, Dom Dom could freaking stick his hand down the freaking chimney and clean it for you. I mean, the dude has pipes.
Dude, he's gotten bigger lately. If you ask me, in the last several months. And
He
then on
made
top of it, and George, here's what I think. You know what's going to make Landry think that Dom could be in that title picture is if he gets some grills.
No,
If he puts some grills on.
it goes back to the it goes back to the comic. No, I was
he's
about to
so
say like
he's so skinny he couldn't wear grills. They would hold him down.
some people don't get that weight, man. Like I know you don't watch sports, but you see NBA players that never get bigger. They're always tall. Like Kevin Durant is the perfect example. He put on weight and you can't even tell. Dom's just got that frame. I mean, he's already taller than his dad. We don't know whose kid he is.
That ain't saying much. Fuck.
You're right about that. I still think
And
he's
then number
Eddie's.
two, the Intercontinental title is 10 times more important than the World Heavyweight title. And he has that belt right now, regardless of what it's been through before that change.
That's how they set you up.
He's got the workhorse belt. He's got the Intercontinental title.
I think the IC used to be. It's not anymore. Not the way WWE has treated it. And when was the last time you seen Dom actually defend the belt? Right?
Money in the Bank.
You know.
Thank you.
One time.
He just defended it.
I mean, look, Dom. I'm sorry, Dom is not ready for that responsibility yet.
No, but he will be a world champion one day.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you.
How long has he had that IC belt?
He would look terrible.
He won at
as
WrestleMania, so I don't know how many days
right now. And you can't compare basketball to a sport where you're supposed to be violent and physical, right? Two totally different things, man.
No, I ain't comparing that. I'm comparing the body types. He said he doesn't have the weight or the size or anything to look like a champion. Jey Uso got fat and he was in great shape before he became heavyweight champion. And
most of the guys that they have constantly in that title run, your CM Punks, your Cody Rhodes, soon your Brian Breakers,
Your AJ Styles,
even your Seth Rollins. Okay. Maybe you can. I cannot suspend my belief to the point that I believe that Dom would actually be able to physically beat these men.
So you believe? So then you believe his dad can win the title as many times as he has as a little person? I mean,
Rey Mysterio.
person.
Rey Mysterio was different. He was 100% different, man. Rey Mysterio has always been the exception to the rule.
100.
What makes that different from what you're saying?
Smaller, right?
But the thing you're missing, the thing you're missing here, is Dom is not physically intimidating, but Dom could probably out wrestle some of these guys. To be honest,
in reality, maybe, but we're not talking about a product that's based on reality. We're talking about a product where we're supposed to be able to suspend our disbelief. And
well, you're saying his
character.
You're saying his. No, I was about to say you're saying his character doesn't make you believe he can beat guys that are better than him if he's champion, and he's
not even if I suspend it by disbelief. No.
But a 5'6" guy that's like barely 200 pounds can beat the Big Show.
Right.
Rey Mysterio.
Randy Orton's one of the tallest people, and he's gotten bigger, and he's lost to Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio is different in the fact that the way where Rey came from. Rey grew up in the streets. He grew up a very hard life as well. So for someone like that, with knowing his background, compared to a guy that looks like Dom, who grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth, absolutely, I can believe that Rey Mysterio.
Hold on. Rey's uncle is like one of the biggest wrestlers. Rey's uncle is one of the biggest wrestlers in Mexico at the time.
In Mexico, dude. In Mexico. Do you think he may have had the name, but financially, do you really think he was making that much money? No.
I don't know.
Go do your research with the luchadors way back then in that era, and look up how much they were making. They weren't making very much at all.
I wasn't living on the streets, though.
I think I could say this, KG, and this is just me thinking with my WWE brain. You got to take a little bit of the wrestling out of it, because WWE has a different way of doing things. They can make anybody look like it. I mean, hell, Santino was one of the last people in the Rumble when Del Rio won, and his character was nowhere near looking like he could beat anybody. But he got out from under the ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can do, and I ain't saying it to be like, they do whatever. No, they can do anything with the stories. I mean, it's like
Look
they
at
can put
Io
Dom in a
Sky.
position.
Look at
They
Io
can put Dom
Sky.
in a position to look like he can beat people, and like he's still got the entire Judgment Day to help him. Maybe Finn gets a different look after Dom wins the belt. Like, hey, we need to help this guy keep winning so I can beat him. They
Dude,
can do
like
all
John
kinds of stuff to
Cena.
make him win matches.
I
But
don't
like
know, man.
John
'Cause
Cena said,
He's not by himself either.
but
Right.
like
Well,
John
it's about
Cena
to be.
said, he has earned his spot. He has earned his spot, and he has busted his ass and has not complained about anything. And he does what he's told, and he can work a 10-star match with somebody. He
I am
flows
not
pretty
saying
decent.
that he hasn't busted his ass, but I'm sorry, a guy that not too long ago was used. Look, there was a time in the Judgment Day before JD got there. If someone in the Judgment Day had to be pinned in a tag team,
Dom was the bump guy.
Dom was absolutely that guy, and it hasn't been that
Oh,
long ago. It has not been that long ago. So I think right now it would just be way too soon.
okay. So let me ask you this then. So looking at size and everything, if we're going back in size, Finn Balor. I mean, yeah, his title run was short, but Finn Balor, they put the strap on him.
Yeah, and I didn't like it. I didn't like that either. I didn't.
we are still living in an age where us as fans, we still engage with that 240, 250, 260, 270 pound guy that's muscle bound, Paul Orndorff's, Rick Rude's, you name it,
Holly
you
Anderson,
know,
Holly Blanchard. Yep.
right. And Ole and Arn were, or Tully and Arn were considered pretty light at that rate. Um,
Yeah.
but they came
35.
across like they were badasses, legitimate badasses. All right. Dom doesn't come across as a legitimate badass. All right. Yes, Dom needs to probably gain 10, 15 pounds of muscle mass. Um, he'll get there someday. He will, just because of his
Cody
ability
Rhodes did.
and his work
Cody
ethics.
Rhodes did. Cody
Yeah.
Rhodes was
Yeah,
just
go
a
to
little skinny, too thick, and he's
Right.
gotten
Right.
into shape. It took time,
Right. And it
And
was that
Dom.
work ethic and drive and
Mhm.
leverage. Cody Rhodes had leverage, to get him away from AEW. He says, "Yeah, I'll come back, but you're going to strap the belt on me," you know.
Yeah.
Well,
And Dom doesn't have that kind of leverage right now.
and you mentioned AEW. Look, I think that if Dom was in AEW, that would be more believable for him to be the world champ there than
Yep.
him being a world champ in
Because
WWE.
you got your Orange Cassidy's, you got your Darby Allens, and
Well, I
Jumping
was going to
Jack,
say, I
Jungle
was going to
Jack.
ask you, do you feel that way, Landry? Do you feel that way because WWE's always been known for the home of the monsters,
Yeah,
whereas
and
AEW is kind of known as
I
and a
mean,
lot of their
that's the
guys,
main thing I would think.
right? A lot of the guys are still bigger there.
uh,
You stick Dom in AEW,
and
where a
that
lot of
was a
small.
legit question. That was a
Yeah,
legit
if you
question I
put
was
Dom
asking
at an
you.
AEW, where a good portion of their guys are
Right.
smaller, then that would make sense. Then I would say, okay, I can see Dom as the world
Okay.
champion there. I
Okay.
mean, and
Then
even with Darby Allen, you
That's
mentioned
fair.
Darby Allen.
I'll agree with you on that one then. Then I
Now,
will agree with you on that.
now you mentioned Darby Allen. Even as small as the guys are in AEW, Darby Allen being a world champion, I'd say bullshit. Because look, when they had Darby Allen pin Brody, is it Brody Lee? That's there now?
Yeah, Brody King.
Brody King.
Brody King, not Brody Lee.
When Darby Allen pinned Brody King, I was like, get the fuck out of here. I almost stopped watching AEW at that point. It's the same thing when the
Right.
Murder Hawk and Christian Cage lost against the boys from Minnesota, the tag team.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Shit,
Was
what's
it
the name?
Wait, Top Flight?
Top
yeah,
Flight.
Top Flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Really? You have Christian Cage? So I'm
No,
sorry,
it was the
it
Murder
was
Hawk
that
and Brian Cage,
Brian
yeah,
Cage. But
Brian
yeah, I
Cage.
don't
which
know
is
what
Yeah,
you
even
mean.
worse.
Brian Cage. Yeah. I'm like, are you kidding me? So even in AEW, there's some instances that I think it's too ridiculous. But again, I'd have a better time viewing Dom as that champ in AEW than I would WWE.
Yeah, I agree. I will agree with you on that one.
I respect it. he being a smaller guy, and you know, the Indies are a lot different. The Indies are closer to AEW because AEW doesn't sign the big 6'2", 7-footers and all that stuff. So it's like you see guys your height all the time in certain sites. But WWE with Triple H's guys, some of those guys that he's pulling out of NXT aren't even 6 feet tall. So it's like eventually you're going to get to that point where you get those Ring of Honor and AEW style champions where they're not big, but they can wrestle, and you just got to kind of work with what you got.
You mean like the Bryan Daniels?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, in that sense, yeah. Like people that are like 6'1" and under, even 6'2", because John Cena ain't tall. He's just a big dude. Like people shorter than them. Like I don't even know anybody over 6'4" in fucking AEW. So
let me ask you guys this question. We all know that the whole steroid thing, you can never say a 100% went away in WWE because that's impossible. But under Vince McMahon, you really started to see the guys get smaller. What all the shit happened with Vince going to court and stuff. During the steroid trials. Do you think that under Triple A, especially with TKO owning it, that we're going to start seeing these guys get bigger because steroids is going to kind of be turned their heads away? The reason I'm asking is you brought up Randy Orton. Randy Orton disappeared in 7 to 8 months. Dude came
18.
back. 18 months? Okay.
Yep.
Nonetheless, even after a year, almost 2 years, the size that he gained those 2 years, that's hard to say he got that naturally. Let's look at AJ Styles, right? Who came back just blown the fuck up. Now, I'm not talking about blown up in the way you guys talk about Goldberg. I'm talking about, blown the fuck up, right? Do you think that there's a possibility that Triple H and TKO, although they will not condone steroid use, that they may turn their head, the other way?
I don't think it's turning. Go ahead.
I think it's not as easily easy to get through WWE, but I think under the table is like, hey, go see so and so in Charlotte, North Carolina, and they'll hook you up. I think there's a lot of backdoor dealings, I guess.
No, that was back in the day, dude. Nowadays, there's other things. Nowadays, there's new things that are legal that are basically borderline, that are borderline steroids that these guys are using now so that they can pass the test and so that it's not steroids. I mean, I know this personally, so I don't think that they're condoning anything because it's not happening. There's more new stuff out there now that are borderline. There's stuff you can get on the black market or black web that that the FDA hasn't considered illegal yet.
Well,
that's what I was going to say. I agree with JT. I was exactly the same thing.
There's this stuff. There's stuff or at least there used to be stuff, even at GNC. Look, about 15 years ago, I was buying some stuff that was about as they actually promoted, legal steroids is about as legal as you can get with steroids. And trust me, the shit worked. I was on it. It was probably the best I've ever looked in my life. But I still did not gain. I still did. Shut up. I still didn't gain the size. I still didn't gain the size like your AJ Styles did.
Right.
And I know people gain muscle faster, slower than everyone else. But it looks like I have a hard time believing that, especially AJ Styles got that size that quickly.
Or
EC3.
Yeah. Without
there's a couple of current guys that probably got the legal stuff and just went to town with it.
Yeah, but the thing with AJ is he gained muscle, but he didn't really gain a whole lot of weight.
Right.
So he actually is probably more defined than what he was 2 years ago.
He's more lean.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely big difference when he left and then came back. Drew McIntyre. Come on.
Right.
His body filled out while he was on the Indies. So he definitely did something.
Yeah.
He found something quick and got back to WWE.
Hey, and you can do that. I mean, before he came back to WWE, I mean, he could have done like, back when I experimented, I did a 3-month cycle.
Mhm.
That's all I needed. I got up to because I was when I first got into business, I was 185. Or when I was going through training, and Charlie told me you need to gain some weight. I knew what to do just from being an amateur wrestling. I got a hold of my people and I did a 3-month cycle, got up to 235, and then I kept that weight majority of my career was 235. You know,
Yeah.
until the end.
And
Let
now you're
myself go.
legless at 185 again.
Yeah. Well, no. Probably not
So
175 because you got to take off the leg. So
when is Money in the Bank? I mean, Money Bank. When is the Saturday Night Main Event? The next one.
The 14th,
July
I think.
12th.
Is it July 12th? So big weekend for WWE. July 12th,
Yeah, we
the
got.
main event, and then on the 13th you have Evolution, the women's PLE.
Yeah, it's like a 2-in-1 weekend or something like that. I forgot how they
So
worded it.
let's talk about Evolution for a moment. And of course, this is just us speculating. We don't know what's going to happen. What matches? So with you, JT, what are some of the top matches you could foresee possibly being on Evolution? Or better yet, if you were the booker, what matches would you have on here?
Ooh, man. I'm going to pass on this one for a minute so I can really think about it because I don't want to hold you guys up. But you got somebody go ahead of me so I can. I really want to think about this one.
Yeah, Mark.
I don't know if I really got an opinion on this because I'm not really invested in this pay per view per se. I mean, I'll watch it just because it's a pay per view or a PLE or whatever you want to call it. But it really doesn't excite me, to be honest.
Oh, let
There
me
is
make
rumors.
let me make it
There is
easier for you. Hold on, let me make it easier for you. What would you like to see for the main event?
Tiffany Stratton versus I don't know, but I'd like to see Tiffany Stratton in there somewhere. Maybe Alexa Bliss.
Okay. George?
Yeah, the build
There
up
is
more. Well, see, the build up is kind of confusing me because it looks like they're going to do something with Charlotte and Alexa, but I'm like, now, like, what happens to Tiffany? Because everybody, us included, were like, no, we don't need to see Nia Jax and Tiffany again. And Naomi has Money in the Bank. So the SmackDown aspect of it, I have no idea where they're going with this right now. Raw just got interesting because they were pushing, Liv versus Nikki Bella. Now she's not going to make it to the pay per view. If she does, it'll be like last minute.
Shit.
Look, I know it won't happen. It probably won't happen, but I personally would like to see a Jade Cargill versus Stratton.
Am I on or not?
To be honest with you.
Yeah, Mark, you're on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're saying that Brie Bella might come back to face Liv, but that's not going to happen after last night.
Well, they got Nikki back for that. I don't know about Brie. But that was the whole point of that little interruption last week.
I mean, I think it'll be a good PLE, but I'm not totally invested in this.
I think it'll be good because you got to add in the NXT ladies too, and that's like the best women's division on WWE right now. Despite all the names being on the main roster, NXT has the up and coming girls, or at least out there trying to prove they want it. You know what I'm saying? So the NXT scene, which I have that on my TV right now, they're setting those matches up, like trying to get a contender for JC Jane, who's the champ right now, since they put Stephanie on Raw. So
you
that's the other thing.
Stephanie. You just brought up Stephanie, and I could be wrong. The two qualifying women to fight. Don't we have Alexa Bliss going after Stephanie Valkyra?
Yeah, I think so.
Stephanie Valkyra, yeah. I think it is that. So I see that being like an outside. If they keep the stuff up with her and Charlotte, it's probably gonna be Charlotte cost her the match. I'd like to see Alexa get a little bit of push since they're making her a big deal again. But
no, I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. I would love, I would love to actually see a full program, a feud between Stephanie Valkyra and Alexa Bliss. I think those two could have an amazing match, and I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind that being a match at Evolution, to be honest with you. I don't know. I think that they would just have a damn good match together.
Yeah. Then you got to throw in Vega too somewhere.
Selena, I think, but Well, Zelina Vega's probably going to defend against Julia, which her buzz cooled off a lot. But I mean, I like Julia a lot, but
Yeah.
I don't see her maybe getting another title shot before she wins, pulling the whole thing they did with Becky Lynch, because they're trying to make Julia a heel, because they didn't really do that in NXT. They made her a heel when her and Roxanne popped up on Raw. Like
Yeah.
she was like super babyface, and then the next Monday night she's jumping Rhea Ripley with Roxanne.
You don't think Julia's going to beat Vega for the title?
Oh, I think she would.
I think she can on the first try, but for some reason I think they're gonna let Zelina win keep the belt at Evolution and then lose it.
Yeah.
Because it's WWE and they do WCW stuff like that.
Real quick, George, who's the champ? Who's the women's world champion in NXT?
JC Jane.
Oh my God!
So,
I think she should have been released. I don't see any appeal to her whatsoever.
Well, they released everybody else on the team. They might as well let her stay and keep the belt, right? I mean,
I've never seen the appeal in her.
But I actually have mutual friends with her. She's actually a really good wrestler, and obviously they don't use her that much at WWE because they put her in the group with Mandy and Gigi at the time. So it's like she can talk on the mic, but I mean, she does need to. I guess I don't know if it's out of practice or anything for lack of use, but she does need to tune it up a little bit, because I can't see her being champion a long time.
Yeah.
So I get it.
I heard rumors that Mandy Rose was in talks with WWE too, but I think that's just a rumor.
I think that's a rumor. She's making too much money right now.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I bet her subscriptions have died down.
Right.
Oh, let's end this podcast on this. Friday night, big main event. We're gonna see Ryan Killings or R-Truth against John Cena. My prediction is we're going to see Ryan Killings actually beat Cena, which is going to lead this to be Killings' last and final feud against Cena for the title. That's with of course John Cena beating Truth and sending him off to finish.
Dude, there was a really good documentary on YouTube about Ron Killian's from past to present, and there was a lot of stuff even being in the business that I didn't know. Like I didn't realize how many times he's won a world championship, and then also winning the NWA World Championship.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot all about that. Like it's been so long. I think right now, like I said, it was all work in my opinion. I think they did it to lead to this, and I'm ready for it. I'd pay to see it. I'm ready to see it. I hope it ends up being really good.
The question is do you think that Friday on SmackDown, Killings is going to beat Cena, which is going to lead to a program for the title?
100%. 100%.
Mark?
Oh yeah, easily. I think it's his swan song, but and I really hope they give him his flowers, to be honest. Even if it's 5 minutes and Seth Rollins cashes in or whatever, I'd love to see him get it.
Yeah.
George?
I do not. I think Friday shenanigans ensue. There's too many people going after John Cena right now, with them not really caring with the brand split right now because they're going as the Night of Champions. I think some of the guys that want Cena's belt are going to cause some interference and cause the match to be thrown out. Ron Killings will get another shot, though. I do see that. So I see a title shot coming out of this.
Did you hear the crowd though? I mean, they want it. The crowd wants
it. Yeah, no,
it's gonna be money.
We're gonna see how fickle the fans are when if Ron Killings gets the belt or at least gets a legit title shot, because Saturday's main event wasn't a title shot. It was just John Cena versus R-Truth.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what. I think Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying this is a title match or not a title match. Either way, I don't see him winning Friday night. I think it's still more of a build up.
So real quick, go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, there's gonna be some interference, bar none. And as far as what the fans want, when does WWE ever care what the fans want? They don't.
They do in NXT. That's all I got.
I don't know, but they don't do it on Raw and SmackDown. So if they do, it takes them a year and a half to do it.
So, and I know we already talked about this. Someone in the comments wants to know: do we think Goldberg has any chance, or just getting buried by Gunther? Ganto, what I think we pretty much agreed that it's a good possibility that Gunther's going to come in, the Goldberg's going to come in Saturday Night Main Event. He's going to beat Gunther in the traditional Goldberg way, leading to a match in Saudi Arabia, where Gunther is then going to, he's going to get his belt back, beating Goldberg.
Job out Goldberg, baby.
Yep.
Hopefully.
And then we'll say fake Bret Hart, because you know, goddamn well, Bret Hart ain't watching this.
Dude.
Oh Lord,
Brother should beat Goldberg like he did Jimmy. That's just what I like to see. That's awesome, Brett. That's what you want to see. Thank you for watching the podcast. I don't think that that's what's going to happen, though. Again, I really think that Goldberg is going to win that Saturday Night Main Event. So, George,
damn it, now I gotta check out Bret Hart's podcast to see if he talks about us.
All right, here we go. Here we go. You guys ready for this? All right. Landry. If Goldberg wins the belt, okay, I will shave off all my facial hair. Okay. If Goldberg does not win, you got to shave that beard.
Yeah, see, that's not going to happen. For two reasons. For two reasons why this isn't going to happen. The first reason is
because nobody wants to see your pussy lips.
You barely have any facial hair. You barely can grow facial hair. But I don't want you to shave your beard.
Great.
I don't want you to shave your goatee because you're fucking ugly enough, much less not having some of that face. So no,
right?
That's not gonna happen. But anyway, guys,
all right,
that ends our Tuesday night podcast. Bob Cook should be back with us next week. Tomorrow, as I said, I'm going to have Justin race the son of one of the toughest damn men and one of the biggest legends of professional wrestling, Harley Race. Please find me on Facebook, KG Landry, just like it is down there. I have the schedule for the rest of June of who's going to be in the podcast. I have a great lineup. George, you have anything to push?
Of course I do. I'm going to be in Gonzales, Louisiana Saturday for Pro Wrestling 225 is involved.
What's the name of the place
Gonzales,
again?
Louisiana. Huh?
Goddamn Gonzales.
Gonzales, Louisiana. Pro Wrestling 225 is going to revive a brand I was working for not too long ago called VHS Wrestling, where we kind of do a satire of wrestling. However, for fans that are not familiar with it in Louisiana, we're going to do it's just going to be an 80s night, but we will bring some of the characters to the show. In the meantime, there's going to be some really good matches. I'll be there. And that's all I got Saturday. That's what I'm doing.
Awesome. JT, you have anything?
I don't really have anything. Again, I just want to reiterate. Sorry, I can't talk. Landry, I want to thank you for your involvement with the whole Cauliflower Alley Club.
I
want to thank my boy Big V, and I also want to thank Ricky Santana and Darla for all this too. That's all I got to say.
Mark, you ain't never got nothing to push.
Mark has a grocery list. Mark has a grocery list he's got to go take care of, like ASAP.
A Walmart grocery list. Let's get it right.
No, normally under our old name, I'd be asking Mark, he'd say, ring the damn bell, but we are no longer ringing the damn bell.
Get your bell rung.
Get your bell rung. The name of the podcast is actually Get Your Bell Rung Professional Wrestling
Like and
Podcast.
subscribe.
Don't forget that part. Don't forget that part. Get your bell done. Get your bell rung.
Get your bell done.
You gotta have Pro Wrestling Podcast at the end to find us on YouTube. Most of everything is changed up on the YouTube channel. YouTube takes up to 14 days for some things, but you can find us if you search Get Your Bell Rung Pro Wrestling Podcast. We will be back, all of us, most of us, except for George, on Thursday because George is too good to watch AEW.
No, he's a man pampered wuss boy.
Yeah,
And I'm being forced to.
absolutely. We'll be back on Thursday. We'll be back on Thursday.
On that note, I see all the stars leave AEW and come to NXT before they go to Raw and SmackDown. So you guys don't watch that. I don't watch AEW.
It's not that I don't watch NXT. I've already explained this. If I add one more program to my already busy wrestling week that I have constantly, my wife will leave me. So
hey, do you get TNA at all? You don't, because I don't have it. that's you can make up for not having Thursday. I said TNA. If you don't get to watch that, you can make up for Thursday for watching Tuesday. You'll be all right.
No, it's all right.
Your marriage will last.
We'll be back on Thursday, guys, to do a recap of Wednesday Night Dynamite. And then again, Saturday, do the recap of Friday Night SmackDown. And of course, Tuesdays, our main show with myself, JT Storms, Mark, George Strong, and of course, usually the Hall of Famer Bob Cook. He was going
the Coulter fan.
Until then, everybody, my co-host, thank you all so much. Wouldn't be the podcast without you all on. To the fans who watch, we really appreciate it. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Until then, everybody have a great rest of your week.